Let's explore the inner architecture of the narcissistic mind, going way beyond the surface.
It all starts with this central paradox, which this quote just nails perfectly.
This godlike performance, it's a lifelong battle to hide that terrifying inner emptiness.
So check out the huge difference between what they project and what's actually real.
Okay, so where does this inner void actually come from? Let's trace it back.
It all stems from a catastrophic failure to build a stable, authentic sense of self.
This authentic core, the true self, becomes something buried in shame and terror. So to survive this, the mind performs a kind of desperate psychological surgery. Okay, this process is simple. First, the wounded true self is buried and locked away.
Then, a new false self is created. It's grandiose, powerful, flawless, and totally fictional.
But this perfect creation has one massive fatal flaw. So what is it?
It's not real. It can't generate its own self-esteem, so it needs constant fuel.
And that essential fuel, that's what's known as narcissistic supply. It's literally just attention. And here's the wild part. The supply can be positive or negative. Any attention works. Which is why, to the narcissist, being ignored isn't just an insult. No, it's way worse. It's psychological annihilation, the collapse of their entire world. And this need for fuel is why other people aren't seen as human. They're just objects.
Honestly, the best metaphor is an addict, just desperately searching for their next fix.
It's a crazy-making feeling, right? Suddenly you're isolated, even questioning your own reality. To get how this happens, you gotta realize, a narcissist almost never works alone. They're more like social architects. They actually build an entire ecosystem just for protection. This little world is called the narcissistic court, and it's there to always rule in their favor. So how do they build it? Their number one tool is a manipulative tactic called triangulation. It's a pretty simple but brutal three-step process designed to keep everyone totally off balance. For example, they'll praise one person to your face while kind of tearing another one down. But then, the very next day, they'll just flip the script completely. No one ever feels safe. And the whole point is to keep everyone desperately competing for their favor. It's a game. This quote just nails it. No one's focused on the narcissist, they're all fighting each other. And in the middle of it all, the narcissist just sits back like a calm little puppet master. Okay, so who are these people? Who are the actual unwitting members of this court? People call them flying monkeys. Yeah, like from The Wizard of Oz. They're basically an army. But get this, they're usually not bad people. We're talking friends and family who are just being used. They get pulled in with a masterfully crafted story where the narcissist is always the victim. And this army, it gets sent in the second a target tries to leave or call out the abuse. Their job is to apply pressure, report back, and tell the target they're just overreacting. You can probably imagine how well this works. It is a devastatingly effective tactic. Because the main point is to make the victim feel totally and completely alone.
It's not one-on-one anymore. Now it's one person against the entire group.
So it starts with the narcissist telling you you're overreacting.
But then, your own friends and family start saying the exact same thing. And that kind of constant pressure, well, it's often the final blow that breaks a person's will. This quote really nails the paradox, right? A king who's also the only prisoner in his kingdom. So let's start with how they see the world. It's basically a world in a mirror. Okay, so it all boils down to this: narcissistic supply. People aren't people, they're just mirrors.
And look at the difference here. Real connection? Nope. For them, it's all just one big performance.
And without that real connection, well, their inner world is pretty bleak. Just envy, rage, and emptiness. So even when they're surrounded by people, the truth is, they are completely and utterly alone. But it's not just emptiness inside. There's also this constant, gnawing paranoia. Let's dig into that. So where does this come from? Simple. Their whole world is a lie, so they assume yours is too. Can you imagine how exhausting that must be? They're always on high alert. They can never relax. And why? Because they're terrified. Just terrified that their perfect mask, their facade, is gonna crack. Now, there's one thing they absolutely cannot control, and it's their greatest enemy: time itself. You see, as they get older, all their best tools for getting supply, well, they start to fade.
For someone obsessed with being perfect, aging is the ultimate nightmare.
a constant reminder of imperfection. And this can lead to what's called a narcissistic collapse. The supply dries up, the mask shatters.
So how do we sum all this up? This whole exhausting existence, what's the one perfect metaphor?
So, when you really get down to it, what is the mind of the narcissist? Really?
It's the mind of Sisyphus. You know, the Greek king, doomed to a pointless task forever. His curse was to push a huge boulder up a hill just to watch it roll down again. For the narcissist, that boulder is their huge, perfect, false self, the image they show everyone.
And all that endless pushing? That's them, desperately hunting for supply to keep that image from falling.
So in the end, their prison isn't made of bars. It's just made of mirrors.
Which really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Can the prisoner even see the bars?